In the rugged, windswept landscapes of ancient Scandinavia, where the long, dark winters were tempered by the warmth of roaring fires and tales spun by the hearth, there existed a drink of such mystical power that it could transform those who consumed it. This drink was mead, the honeyed nectar that wove its way into the very fabric of Norse mythology. The Vikings, fierce and proud, were not just warriors, they were also poets, seers, and storytellers, and it was through the sacred mead of poetry that they believed they could unlock the divine knowledge and eloquence that set them apart. According to legend, the mead of poetry was no ordinary drink. It was a drink born from the gods, created after the gods themselves had crafted the first poem, a work so powerful that it granted the gift of wisdom and inspiration to all who consumed it. This mead was brewed from honey, but its true origins were steeped in myth and divine intervention. The mead of poetry was said to have been created from the blood of Kvasir, a being of immense wisdom, who was killed by the dwarves and whose blood was mixed with honey to form this legendary drink. Whoever drank the mead of poetry would be granted not just skill in speech, but access to divine knowledge, the ability to speak with eloquence, and the power to weave words that could move mountains. The gods themselves, from Odin to Bragi, the god of poetry, recognized the power of the mead. Odin, ever the seeker of wisdom, made a bold sacrifice to acquire it. To obtain the mead of poetry, he hung himself from Yggdrasil, the world tree, for 9 days and nights, pierced by his own spear, as a way of transcending human limitations and accessing the divine. His sacrifice was great, but in the end, it granted him the knowledge he sought. From that moment onward, Odin became the god of wisdom, poetry, and magic, his ability to craft language and knowledge a testament to the power of the mead. The mead of poetry became a symbol of divine enlightenment. It was not just a drink, it was a bridge between the mortal world and the world of the gods, a gateway to a higher understanding of the universe. Those who were fortunate enough to drink it could tap into this divine wellspring of knowledge, gaining insight into the mysteries of the world, the cosmos, and the very nature of existence. In Norse culture, the ability to craft words with beauty and precision was considered a sacred gift. Poets, skalds, and storytellers were held in high esteem, for they were seen as the bearers of knowledge, the ones who could communicate the divine wisdom that flowed through the mead of poetry. The mead of poetry became a focal point in Norse culture, representing not only the pursuit of knowledge, but also the desire for eloquence, connection, and storytelling. It was more than just a beverage. It was a metaphor for the power of speech, of words that could heal, inspire, and move hearts. The skalds, who drank from the mead and wove their words with divine insight, were revered in society. Their ability to recite sagas, to recount the deeds of gods and heroes, to speak of things both earthly and divine, was seen as a vital link between the past, the present, and the future. Mead was their fuel, and through it, they could transcend the ordinary and speak in a language that carried the weight of history and the wisdom of the gods. In a more practical sense, mead, the fermented honey drink, has long been cherished for its social and ceremonial importance. In ancient Norse society, drinking mead was a communal activity. Mead was often consumed in large gatherings, where it served as a symbol of hospitality, camaraderie, and the bonds that held people together. The drink was passed around in horns and mugs, shared between friends and strangers alike. The act of drinking mead was a ritual, a way of strengthening social bonds, forging connections, and celebrating life. In this way, mead was more than just a drink. It was a catalyst for fellowship, a means of bringing people together and fostering a sense of unity and belonging. From a scientific perspective, the positive effects of mead consumption align with many of the social and emotional benefits described in Norse mythology. While mead contains alcohol, its primary ingredient, honey, offers a number of health benefits that are often overlooked in modern society. Honey, with its natural sugars, antioxidants, and amino acids, provides a rich source of energy, helping to lift the spirits and improve mood. It has been shown to have a calming effect on the body, reducing stress and anxiety, and its natural antibacterial properties contribute to overall wellness. In moderate amounts, mead, like honey itself, can enhance social bonding, reduce stress, and create a sense of relaxation and contentment. The idea that mead could enhance eloquence and foster a sense of divine inspiration is rooted in the way alcohol interacts with the brain. Moderate consumption of alcohol has been shown to reduce inhibitions, making it easier for people to express themselves and connect with others. In the context of the mead of poetry, this effect would have been seen as an amplification of the drink's divine properties, a means of tapping into the wisdom and creativity that lie within all of us. The connection between mead and creativity is well documented in modern research, which suggests that alcohol in small, controlled amounts can promote creative thinking, reduce anxiety, and encourage people to speak more freely and confidently. In the myth of the mead of poetry, the gods imbued the drink with the power to transform those who consumed it, to grant them not only the gift of language, but also a deep connection to the divine. In the same way, the act of drinking mead, particularly in a communal setting, could be seen as a ritual that deepened the bonds between individuals, creating an environment where words flowed more freely, ideas were exchanged, and knowledge was shared. Just as Odin's sacrifice to obtain the mead allowed him to gain wisdom and understanding, so too did the act of drinking mead in Norse society symbolize a communion with the divine, a sharing of knowledge and experience that transcended the individual. In the modern world, mead has experienced a resurgence, with craft meaderies producing new varieties that celebrate the age-old tradition of fermenting honey. Its complex flavors, ranging from sweet to dry, reflect the variety of ways honey can be transformed into something rich and multifaceted. Mead drinkers today, whether enjoying it for its taste or for its historical significance, continue to partake in the same ritual that the Norse once did, sharing a drink, telling stories, and forging connections that transcend time and place. The mead of poetry lives on, not just in the stories of the gods, but in the gatherings of people who continue to seek wisdom, connection, and the magic of words. Ultimately, the story of the mead of poetry is one of transformation. It is a story of how a simple drink, made from honey, can unlock the deepest truths of the universe, bring people together, and grant them the gift of eloquence and wisdom. Mead, like the stories that surround it, remains timeless, a symbol of creativity, connection, and the divine power that resides in the simplest of substances. Through the mead, the ancient Norse saw the possibility of transcending the mundane and touching the eternal, and that, perhaps, is the most enduring lesson it has to offer us today.